Imagine you're on a date with a hot babe and you sit down and she orders a pumpkin spice latte and tells you about how Love Island is the best thing to ever happen to modern TV, and that she takes a couple of selfies in between for a story using the dog filter. And you sat there thinking, I am out of my depth here. But you sit up straight and you're so worried about winning her approval that you try and file down the rougher edges of your personality and pretend that you know what's going on. Pretend that you've seen Love Island. You're like, oh yeah, Rick. Oh, that guy Rick, he's a real character, him. And so you try and be as bland and as boring as possible to fit in. One of two things is going to happen. Either she's going to rumble you straight away and just think you're a bit of a weirdo, or worse, you manage by some miracle to tick every possible box and hit it off with her through a massive effort, and you come out of the date and you're exhausted because you've been putting on this mask to try and fit in. Now, 3 months later, you're in a committed relationship with a woman who loves boring men, and you're just going to get rumbled as soon as she discovers your My Little Pony collection.
It's around $90,000, maybe $100,000.
So of course, if you're an adult, you would be like, do you know what? I'm going to put my personality on the line here because I'm going to save us both the time and the headache. So it's very easy to see that with dating. But for some reason, when we post content online, we think that we have to impress the entire internet. Stop being so sensible. People are on the internet to be entertained. This is a mistake that Johnny and I made years ago when we set up Propane. We tried to be as inoffensive as possible, and if we even ran the risk of offending someone, we'd reel it back even further. And it was great because we didn't offend anyone. We also made 0 sales. So you have to accept this is just part of you putting yourself online. You are going to upset people, and if you want to dominate a market, the juice is in the intersection between your niche and your personality. And when you nail that, nobody can catch you. So if you don't believe me, look at who it is that you follow, who it is that you've hired. You probably didn't hire the author of a marketing textbook to learn about marketing. You hired someone that you resonate with and kind of moves your soul a little bit. So I'm not saying that you have to be anything different to what you are, just be more of what you are. Give people a chance to see who you are. You don't have to share stuff that you're not comfortable sharing online, but let's say you're super analytical. Show that in full colours and you will attract people who are also super analytical. Or if you're really into gaming, you're going to attract other gamers, but just give them a chance to know about that. Eric Helms says people buy coaches, they don't buy coaching. Yes, it's vulnerable. Yes, it might annoy people, but the people who you annoy will never have bought from you anyway, so just get rid of them as early as possible. This is a great framework from Dan Coe. So you've got the 3 main flavours of your content or personality online, so either authority, growth, or authenticity. And it's where those things intersect that produces these cool results. So if you lean heavily into authority and growth, you're going to generate sales, but not much loyalty or not much engagement. If you lean into authority and authenticity, you get loyalty. You get people following you as a brand. If you lean into growth and authenticity, you get engagement, but you might not get people actually buying from you. But if you really lean into all 3, that's when real leverage happens. Remember the difference between guide and guru. You don't have to be the guru at the top of the mountain. You're the guide with them, climbing the mountain alongside them, which means you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be relatable and know the route. If you want to, you can get really silly about this as well. People like Juji Mufu have dived in dick and balls into this, and he's not afraid to be weird at all. It's gone really well for him. Buying from someone is choosing them out of the pack. Like, would you swipe right on this guy with a profile saying, I am a fertile and stable provider, and he's used his passport photo? No, of course not. The whole point of the Tinder profile is to capture someone's attention and open up some intrigue. What's subcommunicated is, yes, I'm a fertile provider for family, but don't say that, you psychopath. So don't be beige, be polarizing. It's okay to rustle some jimmies once in a while. There probably isn't a single meme on your phone that you could send to your entire phone book and get a positive response. And that's just the people in your contact list. So imagine with the internet, you're going to be Marmite. So hopefully that lesson's useful for you. It took me and Johnny way too long to learn this. The main point is let go of wanting to be liked by everybody because it's just not possible. People buy coaches, not coaching. Nobody ever said, oh my God, I loved your tip on how to squat to parallel. It doesn't happen. So have another look at this framework, see where you're personally weakest across growth, authenticity, and authority, and see if you can just push your limits a little bit. Get out of your comfort zone and see what happens.